decided on the ban for abortion.
And in sports, Ohio men's basketball releases its schedule for the upcoming season. Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Silver Barker.
And I'm Joe Collins. Welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. An Athens Community Action Group wants students to try a more sustainable form of transportation.
Hawking Athens Perry Community Action hosted Bike to Work Day for Athens County today. Bikers were offered beverages, snacks, and raffle tickets for prizes like free bike helmets. The event usually happens in May, but was changed in an effort to reach students. HAPCAP's Athens Mobility Coordinator says biking has many benefits.
It also takes a big burden off our carbon footprint. It's more environmentally friendly. It's healthier from a public health standpoint. So we really wanted to promote that through this event. We really wanted to bring more awareness to it.
Belpre officials are discussing the possibility of extending the Easy Rider bus service across the river from Wood County to Belpre. Belpre Mayor Mike Lawrence says the Ohio Department of Transportation will share the burden and the city of Belpre will pay 20% of the overall costs if the extension is approved. He was scheduled to meet with the Mid-Ohio Valley Transit Authority Tuesday to discuss the parameters of services and contract if routes can be extended. Mayor Lawrence says it's about time the city gets connected with its neighbor Parkersburg and hopes to have the new extensions finished by this winter. Repair crews reopened the Interstate 77 bridge in Wood County, West Virginia. Parts of the bridge have been closed for more than 2 years. The bridge near Parkersburg had been hit by heavy trucks several times in recent years, bending a support beam. The Division of Highways initially planned on straightening out the bent beam, but decided to install new steel supports and beams around the damaged section. The bridge is scheduled to be replaced in 2025. Vinton County is getting $200,000 to expand its jail. The money is coming through a grant from the state. Plans call for building 3 holding cells by next summer at the new sheriff's office located north of MacArthur. Sheriff Ryan Kane tells the Vinton County Courier the new cells can hold up to 6 people accused of nonviolent crimes. Right now, incarcerated suspects are transported 45 minutes to the Southeastern Ohio Regional Jail in Nelsonville. If the regional jail is full, deputies must transport prisoners to Monroe County. Kane says additional cells would reduce transportation costs and time deputies spend traveling out of the county. Now let's throw it over to Peyton for a look at first weather.
Thank you, Joe. Fall has been in the air recently, but today it started to get a lot warmer than what we have been seeing for the past couple of days. As you can see right now in Athens, it is 77 degrees, so it is the warmest that we've seen recently, and it is partly cloudy outside. And across the board, we have been looking at mainly clear skies in the Athens area. We have not seen a speck of rain throughout the entire day, but as you can see here in the Wilmington area, we have been seeing some light rain, and south to us in the Charleston area and in the northeast as well. But in Athens, it has been mainly clear skies. And across the board, we have been looking at some low 70s to high 70s. In the Athens area, we are looking at 77 degrees right now. And in surrounding areas, Lancaster 75 and in Wilmington 75. And as we move north to us in Columbus, we are looking at 79 degrees. But we'll see if that temperature will rise or decline in my full weather forecast.
Thanks, Peyton. State Representative Jay Edwards will have no Democratic Party opponent in the November election. This is because Ohio's Secretary of State rejected the party's bid for a replacement. Tanya Conrath would have replaced Ryan Goodman, a Democrat who dropped out 6 days after winning the primary. Republican Secretary Frank LaRose says Conrath was a victim of the state's recent messy redistricting process. This caused problems with 2 critical deadlines, one being the deadline for a party to certify a replacement and the other being the certification of the state primary winner. Athens County Democratic Party met the deadline to certify Conrath as the replacement, but the Board of Elections did not complete its certification of the election results. A Hamilton County judge temporarily blocked Ohio's 6-week abortion ban for 14 days. The decision made today restores access to the procedure for up to 20 weeks into pregnancy. The Common Pleas Court judge ruled the state constitution could protect Ohioans' right to an abortion. The procedure will be available for up to 20 weeks into pregnancy. The decision is the first significant shift in abortion access in Ohio since the Supreme Court overturn of Roe v. Wade. West Virginia is the latest state to pass an abortion ban. The state house was filled with protesters and supporters yesterday as a bill banning abortions in the state was passed. The state's bill allows exceptions to save a pregnant woman's life or in cases of rape or incest. Those cases, however, require police reports to allow for an abortion. Women who obtain abortions illegally will not face penalties. Healthcare providers who perform them can receive disciplinary action, including losing their medical license. The measure passed both West Virginia's House and Senate Tuesday. Now, it just needs the governor's signature to become law. Democratic members stress the need for maternal health in the state, while Republicans say it instead protects mothers.
I serve 5 counties. Only 2 of them have OBGYNs. Maternal health is already bad here. I fear that it's going to get worse.
I think it protects them. They would have to go out of their way to perform an illegal abortion before they were going to have any legal problems.
Former United Nations Ambassador Kelly Craft has launched her campaign for Kentucky governor. She announced her campaign for governor in Barron County, where she grew up. During the kickoff event, Craft vowed to fight for Kentucky values. Craft joins an already contested race for the Republican nominee in the Kentucky GOP binatorial race. Craft spent years creating connections in the GOP as she and her husband, Joe Craft, donated millions of dollars to Republican candidates. The winner in the contested primary will face incumbent Andy Beshear, who has maintained strong job approval ratings from Kentuckians.
A potential nationwide strike could cause problems for the U.S. economy. And Queen Elizabeth leaves Buckingham Palace for the last time. That and more when Newswatch returns.
An African wilderness out of balance.
When you remove predators from the story, things start to unravel. Are you ready?
How fear functions in nature was completely unknown.
What happens when you put fear back into the equation?
Now that nature is coming back, to see this difference, it's amazing.
Nature's Fear Factor on Nova.
Wednesday at 10:30 on WOUB.
Masters of stealth. Leopards are solitary creatures. But this is no ordinary leopard. She is a mother, a force of nature, protector, provider, and teacher. And in this African adventure, she'll do whatever it takes to preserve her legacy.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
Charlie Pride wanted to become the next Jackie Robinson.
Playing in the Negro League, the guys heard my voice and they said, man, you make a lot of money singing. You sing pretty good.
Instead, he became the first black country music superstar.
He sang it so much better than so many of the good country artists at the time.
Look for Charlie Pride.
The Jackie Robinson of country music.
On American Masters.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
Man, it's already week 5. The time is just flying by. This Friday, we have the new Lexington Panthers taking on the Tri-Valley Scotties in an NBL cross-division matchup. The Waterford Wildcats take on the Eastern Eagles in a game that will have huge TVC hockey implications, and Barnesville will battle it out with River to see which OVAC team can go into week 6 undefeated. So tune in Friday night at 11:30 on WOUB. And remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.
Welcome back. A recent inflation report indicates that wholesale price increases are showing signs of improvement. But now, a potential nationwide rail strike could cause more problems for the U.S. economy. Chris Wynn has the latest from Washington.
A looming nationwide freight rail strike is getting closer to reality as negotiations continue in Washington.
You look at the fundamental infrastructure of the country, that affects everyone, and people tend to take it for granted.
Two rail unions representing about 60,000 engineers and conductors who make up the two-person crews on each train say scheduling rules that keep them on call virtually every day they're not at work, as well as a staffing shortage, are making their work lives intolerable. But the Association of American Railroads trade group says the union scheduling demands should be dealt with locally and not through national bargaining.
We have supply chain problems already. The ports are clogged. You throw in a rail strike and tens of thousands of containers can't get to where they want to go. That affects stores and our everyday lives.
About 30% of the nation's freight moves by rail, so a strike could be a crippling blow to the U.S. economy. Without freight railroads, oil refineries would have trouble producing their current volumes of gasoline, which could send prices higher. A strike could also disrupt the nation's food supply, preventing recently harvested crops from moving to food processors and disrupting the supply of fertilizer needed for upcoming plantings. And there could be negative impacts on the import of goods for the holiday shopping season, causing shortages and higher prices.
We have made crystal clear to the interested parties the harm that American families, businesses, and farmers and communities would experience if they were not to reach a resolution.
A strike could begin as early as Friday. In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
It's unclear if Congress will extend the negotiation period. Economists worry how the strike could increase rates of inflation, especially with the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited the new liberated city of Izum in the Kharkiv region today, 5 days after Ukrainian forces entered the city. Pictures on social media show Zelensky at the ceremony in the main square, raising the Ukrainian flag over a city building. According to a statement released on the presidential website, Zelensky told Ukrainian troops, quote, "I want to thank you for saving our people, our hearts, children, and future." There was a minute of silence at the ceremony to remember those who had been lost during military operations against Russian forces. As the war in Ukraine rages on, Britain is making a statement to the Russian leader. Top leaders from around the globe are expected at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral next week, but Russian President Vladimir Putin won't be one of them. Although the full invitation list has not yet been finalized, the British government confirms Putin will not be invited due to his invasion of Ukraine. Belarus and Myanmar officials have also been ruled out of the guest list. Palace protocol is not to reveal invitees to family events, and it has not commented on the guest list.
As the United Kingdom begins its final farewell to a queen who served her country for more than 70 years, crowds lined up for miles to watch Queen Elizabeth II's coffin arrive at Westminster Hall in London. Isabel Rosales is in London with details on the funeral procession and how world leaders and the UK people are remembering the late Queen.
Draped in a wreath of flowers, Queen Elizabeth II's coffin made its final journey to Westminster Hall Wednesday, where the late Queen will lie in state until her funeral on Monday. The funeral procession led by King Charles III and surrounded by military personnel. Behind the king, his siblings, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, Prince Edward, and the king's two sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. A somber moment for this family and the entire United Kingdom. Crowds stretched for miles around London, some people sleeping on the streets overnight, just to ensure they could say a final farewell to a queen who served her people for more than 70 years.
It's the one thing I really want to do, to come and pay my last respects.
Among those paying their respects, dozens of world leaders.
This has obviously been a shock to everybody. This is, going to be a memory that will stand with them and with us watching it for forever. 70 years of service is exceptional to any person's life.
A moment of grief for the UK, rippling across the globe.
A sense of gratitude for the contribution that she had made in providing all that steadiness and sense of stillness in the middle of a very troubled and speedy world.
In London, I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Queen Elizabeth's funeral will be held next Monday at Westminster Abbey. A study on multivitamins shows it might slow cognitive decline. That story's still ahead.
And it's been starting to feel like fall the past couple of days, but will that continue? Find out in my full weather forecast. And if you want more of Newswatch, you can check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter.
Man, it's already week 5. The time is just flying by. This Friday, we have the new Lexington Panthers taking on the Tri-Valley Scotties in an NBL cross-division matchup. The Waterford Wildcats take on the Eastern Eagles in a game that will have huge TVC hockey implications, and Barnesville will battle it out with River to see which OVAC team can go into Week 6 undefeated. So tune in Friday night at 11:30 on WOUB. And remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.
A few days ago, as we were taking a stroll around our neighborhood square, Father began to talk about going into hiding. He sounded so serious that I felt scared. Don't you worry, we'll take care of everything. Just enjoy your carefree life while you can.
Coming up on Craft in America.
Music is one of the oldest ways of communication. For hundreds of years, we were singing with our voices, we were making instruments.
The trumpets are custom made for each player, which almost nobody on the planet does.
It's a work of art just sitting on a stand, but in the hands of a musician, it turns into an expressive paintbrush for music.
Thursday at 10 on WOUB.
Charlie Pride wanted to become the next Jackie Robinson.
Playing in the Negro League, the guys heard my voice and they said, man, you make a lot of money singing. You sing pretty good.
Instead, he became the first black country music superstar.
He sang it so much better than so many of the good country artists at the time.
Look for Charlie Pride.
The Jackie Robinson of country music.
On American Masters.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
For the past couple of days, it's been feeling like sweater weather, but I had to throw that back inside today and grab some cooler outfits because it got so much warmer. As you can see here in Athens today, we have gotten up to 78 degrees, so it's been a lot warmer than usual, and we are looking at a temperature low of 55 today. So if you had a chance to get outside this morning, it was a little bit chillier, and we are expecting a big drop this evening, and it has been mostly sunny outside. So today was a really warm day, and across the board we have been seeing some clear skies. On top of that, not a speck of rain in Athens, but to the west of us in Wilmington we have been seeing some light rain, and in some southern parts and in the northeast as well. But on a wider scale, as you can see here, there has been some light to medium rain west of us in the Indianapolis area and beyond, but in the Athens area we have not seen any rain, and that will continue into this evening. We are supposed to have a mostly clear night, but we will be expecting a little bit of fog later along with some calm winds. But if you did have a chance to get outside this morning, this evening is going to feel a lot like that. It is going to cool down quite a bit. It's going to be a big drop, but we are expecting some mainly calm and settled weather in courtesy of this high pressure that has been moving into our area recently, and that is expected to stay into tomorrow and the next couple of days, which is going to be bringing some drier weather and some above average temperatures than what we have been seeing recently. This fall weather is going away, and we might be revisiting the pool because tomorrow it is supposed to be 82 degrees. It's going to be much warmer tomorrow with a temperature low of 53, and it is going to be partly sunny. So those clouds may deter us from feeling that crazy heat that we might be getting Friday as well, because we are expecting 83 degrees, and it is supposed to be mostly sunny with a low of 57, and on Saturday it is going to be mostly sunny with a high of 85 and a low of 61. So Saturday is looking like the warmest day that we are seeing coming up next, and this trend is continuing into the end of our lovely weekend. We are seeing a high of 86 and a low of 62, and on top of that we are seeing another sunny day, and we're going to be expecting the same thing on Monday. We are going to be seeing a high of 86 and a low of 63, and that will continue into Tuesday with another sunny day with a high of 87 and a low of 66. And to end off that week, middle of the week, we're going to see another sunny day on Wednesday with a high of 86 and a low of 62. So the warmest day right now next Tuesday is going to be 87, and make sure to get out this weekend because Saturday is going to be 85 degrees. So get outside and enjoy that sunshine. Back to you, Silver.
Thanks, Peyton. Over 16 million people are living with mental decline, according to the CDC. But a new study suggests a daily multivitamin may slow the process of cognitive aging. Mandy Gaither has a look.
They're safe, affordable, and may already be in your medicine cabinet. A new study suggests taking a multivitamin every day may slow cognitive decline in seniors 65 and older.
When you think about the millions of Americans, 6.5 million Americans who have Alzheimer's disease, this could be a really important public health intervention.
Over a 3-year period, older adults were given either a multivitamin or cocoa extract as a placebo. Those involved in the study had their cognition tested each year. Researchers found after 3 years, those taking the multivitamin appeared to have slowed cognitive aging by about 60% compared with the placebo.
To date, there's really been no real review that shows sufficient evidence to recommend a nutrient supplement to protect cognitive health.
It's still unclear what's driving the link between a multivitamin and cognitive function, but researchers believe it may be connected to the way supplements can benefit people who might be lacking in micronutrients, something that most people can get from a well-balanced meal.
It is possible that in some older Americans, particularly those with cardiovascular disease, where they actually saw an enhanced benefit in this study, there may be micronutrient deficiencies, so people aren't getting enough in their diet, and that by giving them back, we may be able to promote cognitive function.
While health experts say the results are promising, larger and more diverse studies are now needed. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Researchers say they were shocked at the results. They expected the cocoa extract to have cognitive benefits based on previous studies, but instead it was the multivitamin that helped cognition.
And coming up in sports, Ohio's men's basketball releases its schedule for the upcoming season. Find out what opponents lie ahead for the Bobcats when Newswatch returns.
A few days ago, as we were taking a stroll around our neighborhood square, Father began to talk about going into hiding. He sounded so serious that I felt scared. Don't you worry, we'll take care of everything. Just enjoy your carefree life while you can.
WOUB is recognizing members of our Cornerstone Society. The Cornerstone Society is a group that wants to ensure the future of public media in our region. It includes people across our area who value news, entertainment, and cultural programming, as well as the educational services WOUB provides. Also included are graduates of Ohio University who took part in the WOUB Student Professional Development Program. Thanks to the Cornerstone Society for their generous support. To learn how you can be involved, email woub@woub.org.
Charlie Pride wanted to become the next Jackie Robinson.
Playing in the Negro League, the guys heard my voice and they said, man, you make a lot of money singing. You sing pretty good.
Instead, he became the first black country music superstar.
He sang it so much better than so many of the good country artists at the time.
Look for Charlie Pride.
The Jackie Robinson of country music.
On American Masters.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
Man, it's already week 5. The time is just flying by. This Friday, we have the new Lexington Panthers taking on the Tri-Valley Scotties in an NBL cross-division matchup. The Waterford Wildcats take on the Eastern Eagles in a game that will have huge TVC hockey implications, and Barnesville will battle it out with the River to see which OVAC team can go into week 6 undefeated. So tune in Friday night at 11:30 on WOUB. And remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
Ohio University men's basketball released their 2022-23 schedule this afternoon. The Bobcats, coming off a 25-10 season, will be playing more non-conference games and home games. Ohio will play Michigan on November 20th and Florida on December 14th. These two games will prepare the Bobcats for in-conference play and give them valuable out-of-conference experience. Jackson City Schools continues to carry on a 3-year tradition of free student admittance to football games. Newswatch reporter Zach Mothersbaugh has more.
A huge season for the Jackson Ironmen. They are going to have the crowd behind them after a pitch from the Jackson community to create a fund to get all students elementary through high school, in for free.
We had a couple of individuals that came to us and said, we would like to take this on. Would you be willing to work with us to figure out a number? And are you okay with us raising money on the behalf of the students?
And Principal Swackhammer has seen these kinds of gestures over and over from the people in Jackson.
Our community is unmatched when our kids need something. When our students have an opportunity, our community finds a way. So it was never an if this was going to happen. It was a how long can we make it happen?
But it's not just the community that gets behind these kids. It's Jackson schools, too, willing to forfeit for their students.
Ultimately, our goal is to get kids in. So if we have to make sacrifices in one place or another, it's not hard.
And according to Stevens, those sacrifices are put towards this because they feel it benefits everyone.
It's important from the fact that it impacts every student. Every student has the opportunity, and there's not many things you can do or many projects you can take on that will directly benefit all of the students of Jackson City Schools, and this is one thing that will do that.
This fund has now lasted 3 sports seasons, including this season, and Jackson plans to continue it.
And it's been a great success. I hope it continues. I hope they, have seen the benefits of it and how much the kids are enjoying the games and how much more response we're getting.
From Newswatch, I'm Zach Mothersbaugh.
And Jackson is back in action Friday at Wheelersburg. The Wellston Golden Rockets have a new head coach as they start in-conference play this week. The new coach, Dan Polson, says that despite difficulties on and off the field, the Golden Rockets have continued to work hard at practice and stay positive about their season.
To this point, the kids got thrown a lot of curves, and our schedule had some bears on it, but they're still real positive. And so we're looking forward to having a chance to interconference play, kind of second season, as it will.
And Polson and the Rockets are back in action Friday, and they're going to face off against Alexander.
All right, so hopefully the Rockets can get a win, under this new head coach.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was the assistant coach for a little while, but I think he really has a good connection with these boys, and let's hope they have a good season.
Indeed. Let's throw it over to Peyton for a look at final weather.
After this warm day that we've had, it is going to get a lot chillier. This evening, we are dropping down to 55 degrees for our overnight low, and it is going to be mostly clear outside, but definitely expect some fog. And tomorrow we are bumping up to 82 degrees with a low of 53, and it is going to be partly sunny, so we are warming up. And for the next couple of days, it is supposed to be mostly sunny across the board here, and we are looking at mid to high 80s. So get outside and enjoy that sun.
Now imagine this, a 150 million year old dinosaur skeleton in your living room. The fossilized iguanodon skeleton, named Zypher, will be auctioned off in Paris next month. It's expected to go for about $500,000. The skeleton was found in Colorado on private land in 2019. The iguanodon was a herbivorous species and is named for its teeth, which are like those of modern iguanas. The one going up for auction is nearly 11 feet long and about 4 feet tall. The bidding is scheduled for October 20th.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. For Joe Collins, Peyton Simchek, and Haley Hollinger, I'm Silver Barker.
Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org or follow us on social media. Have a great night.
Support comes from Hocking Valley Bank, offering mortgage loans or refinancing on an existing home, making it easy for dreams to be